And that is why today I am announcing this government will make a new free-of-charge digital ID mandatory for the right to work.
You're not registered. Got your identity card? Let me see your identity card.
Yes, of course.
I want to see your identity card!
Let me spell that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It's as simple as that. Because decent, pragmatic, fair-minded people, they want us to tackle the issues that they see around them.
Orwellian. Terrible. Oh, you've got me fucking started now.
One of our viewers got in touch and wanted us to ask this question. Russ Brown wanted us to ask you if you really believe that those profiting from human trafficking will think, oh dear, I have to check your digital ID now. I can't carry on paying you £1.50 an hour to work in my sweatshop.
I am absolutely convinced that amongst the reasons that people travel through France, which is a safe country, to come to the United Kingdom, amongst the reasons is because it's easier to work in our illegal economy than it is in other countries. And we have to deal with that.
Bosses who are prepared to hire people illegally are not asking them for their national insurance card. So what's the evidence? What makes you think they're suddenly going to ask them for a digital ID?
We need to be really clear. You must have ID, mandatory digital ID, in order to work, because we have to stop illegal working. If you look at any of the raids, we've massively increased the number of raids on working premises. It is absolutely clear that people are working illegally in numbers.
But why do you think that them having a digital ID, having to have a digital ID, would stop that problem when right now people are meant to have a national insurance number and card, and if they're not asked for that, a boss is willing already to break the rules? What's the difference going to be? Well,
the difference is this is on point of starting, not a retrospective exercise as it now is. It is an automatic collection of the information by the government, so we know exactly who is working in our economy, and it will help us enforce the rules that are there. But there's no point people saying to me, why do we need it, when we all acknowledge there is a problem. People are working illegally in our economy. It is amongst the reasons that people want to come to the United Kingdom. We have to deal with that. I made a pledge that we would do whatever was necessary, use whatever tools were available to deal with illegal migration. I intend to do so.
I am announcing this government will make a new free-of-charge digital ID mandatory for the right to work by the end of this Parliament. Let me spell that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It's as simple as that. Certainly in the UK now, we're at a crossroads. We have got a right-wing proposition that we've not had in this country before. We've gone on for decades with elections which are basically either a Labour government or a Conservative government, pitched usually pretty much on the centrepiece of politics, the centre ground of politics. So, but now we face a very different proposition with Reform and Nigel Farage. It's that march that we had here 2 weeks ago in London, in Whitehall, that sent shivers through the spines of many of our communities well away from London, not just those in the immediate vicinity. So there's a battle for the soul of this country now as to what sort of country do we want to be, because that toxic divide, that decline with Reform, it's built on a sense of grievance politics, identifying something real for sure, but relying on the problem existing in order for their politics to persist.
It's great as well, because it's all about looking at the evidence. In fact, it's so fucking apt for today. So it's about a jury in a. I won't give it away, but it's a big court case, and there's a jury. Everyone's wanting to see what they want to see for their own benefit. Just like today, people not looking at the evidence, just looking at what's good for me. People covering up evidence if it ruins their narrative. People fucking denying science these days because it doesn't fit into their narrative. Terrible, just terrible. People creating a new dogma with its own fatwa, bullying people because they think differently. Orwellian, terrible. Oh, you've got me fucking started now. Oh, God. and he's a hero because he's the least popular person in the fucking room, and he doesn't care because he's principled. It's, oh my God, it's so fucking good. Oh, it's so good. It's so apt for now. It is so apt for now. What's happening in the world. People not looking at the argument, just looking at who's saying it. People getting annoyed. Evident, the truth being inconvenient. Fucking brilliant. It's fucking brilliant.
Your body cams will be transmitting that. The police will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording, watching and recording everything that's going on. Citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on.
When you come to government and what government's doing, there are artificial intelligence tools, and some of them I know that Oracle have developed around financial management for government. But also, tell us a bit about what, because you're right at the forefront of this revolution, what it means for what government should do in terms of its digital infrastructure, digital ID, data centers, and so on.
How do you take advantage of these incredible AI models? And the first thing a country needs to do is to unify all of their data so it can be consumed and used by the AI model. You have to take all of your healthcare data, your diagnostic data, your electronic health records, your genomic data. And in the Middle East, in the UAE, for example, they're incredibly rich in data. They have a lot of population data. The NHS in the UK has an incredible amount of population data, but it's fragmented. It's not easily accessible by these AI models. We have to take all of this data we have in our country and move it into a single, if you will, unified data platform. So we provide context. When we want to ask a question, we've provided that AI model with all the data they need to understand our country. So that's the big step. That's kind of the missing link. We need to unify all of the national data, put it into a database where it's easily consumable by the AI model, and then ask whatever question you like.
So you're really, through the use of this, you're revolutionizing the way government works, right? The services it provides, the way that it operates. What about things like financial management, procurement? How can AI help a government operate more efficiently, more effectively, give a more direct and better service to the citizen?
Well, we have these modern financial systems. So, countries can, and all, for example, the AI system will help you do that. But again, the secret is to get all of that data in one place. Without having the basic data, it cannot answer the question about your country. I think countries are very uncomfortable with keeping their data in other countries' data centers. So I think part of our essential infrastructure, just like airports obviously need to be in our country, or they're not terribly useful. Ports need to be in our country, and they're not terribly useful. Data centers, because of the privacy requirements around the data, need to be in our countries, or they're not terribly useful. They need to be in our countries, but they also need to be secure. And there are new technologies right now. This is the last year you will ever log on to an Oracle system with a password. Next, by the middle of this year, I'm quite certain you are Tony Blair. So how do I know? Well, I look at you, I hear your voice, I listen to the kind of questions you ask. I'm pretty sure you're not synthetically created in having this conversation. The security system, we have biometric logins. The computer recognizes you. It recognizes your voice. It might ask you to put your index finger on the return key. And we're absolutely certain it's you. There's no reason to enter a password. In fact, passwords are too easily stolen. Data centers and data is being taken hostage all over the world. The ransomware business is a very, very good business. It's getting bigger and better every year. We tend not to talk about it because the American FBI has a simple advice to someone whose data has been ransomed. Just pay them because there's nothing we can do about it. But there is something we can do about it, not after the data is stolen, but before the data is stolen. We can make sure that we're using the latest security technology, and it is going to be biometrics assisted by AI to make sure that you are in fact Tony Blair, and I'm sure you are. Now, I would love to have lived to be 150 years old.
Well, there's an amazing opportunity to reimagine the state, the way that government functions, and the service that it can provide for its citizens.
Probably not public information yet, but who's the person that's number one on that invitation list?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
And I can get on that list,
yes,
right?
Without a doubt, you are invited.
That is so generous of you. Cheers to that.
See you at the White House.
It wasn't the only epic movie. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, nearly 3 hours long. Leonardo DiCaprio attended the premiere, and by the end, his date was too old for him. So...
Sean Diddy Combs was stoic as the judge handed down his 50-month sentence. That's more than 4 years. Now, Sean Combs, from my observation sitting inside that courtroom, did not have much of a reaction as his fate was handed down to him. It was actually moments before that he got emotional, crying when he spoke to the judge, which was the first time that he had addressed the court at length throughout his entire 2-month trial. Now, he faced his children and he said, "I am sorry, I have failed you as a father." He then looked at his mother sitting in the gallery of the courtroom and said, "You raised me better than this." And that is when his voice was cracking and when he began to cry. But here's what the judge said when he scolded Combs. He said, quote, "History of good work cannot wash away this case." He said that he used his abuse to get your way. He asked Combs, why did the abuse continue for so long, that being the abuse against Cassie and Jane? And he said, quote, "Because you had the power and resources to keep it going and you didn't get caught."
Talking of all you parents, it was a big year. It was a big year for movies. Surviving R. Kelly, Leaving Neverland, Two Popes. Shut up. Shut up. I don't care. I don't care.
We're hearing from our affiliates who were inside that courtroom that Sean Diddy Combs put his hands together in a prayer motion, looked at the jury and said, thank you, before falling to his knees. His family were in the courtroom. There was applause, cheering as well as his mother left the court. She blew kisses to supporters that have been waiting outside. Now, as you mentioned, the verdict is in and it is split on that most serious charge, 1 count of racketeering and conspiracy. He was found not guilty. That was the charge that would have carried life in prison. He was found not guilty of sex trafficking and also of those 2 counts, but he was found guilty on those 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. Now, those charges do still carry 10 years, a maximum of 10 years behind bars, so he could still be facing up to 20 years in prison. Now, even with that guilty verdict, this is a legal victory for Sean Diddy Combs. He has been acquitted of the most serious charges against him. His defence had argued that, yes, there was domestic violence, yes, there was drug use, alcohol use, but that he should not be judged for his sexual preferences, that it was all consensual. Now, the star witness in this case was Cassie Ventura, his former girlfriend. Her lawyer spoke briefly outside the courtroom.
The reaction is that we're pleased that he's finally been held responsible for 2 federal crimes, something that he's never faced in his life. We're hopeful that ultimately he receives a substantial sentence for what he's done, and we're pleased that Cassie's brought to light everything that has happened in this trial.
So as mentioned, he is still facing up to 20 years in prison. A judge will hand down that sentence. A date has not been set yet. Sean Diddy Combs remains in custody at the moment. But look, he could walk out in a matter of hours. There is a bail hearing set for later today, and we'll bring you those updates when we have them.
I mean, Kevin Hart was fired from the Oscars because of some offensive tweets. Hello? Lucky for me, the Hollywood foreign press can barely speak English. and they've no idea what Twitter is. So I got offered this gig by fax.
The bad boy. Oh, he's bad boy now.
Signing the bad boy.
Here's your icon alert. It's called He's Bad Boy Now. Bad boy. Bad boy.
50 Cent's highly anticipated documentary about Sean Diddy Combs is officially here. And we hear from 2 jurors from the Diddy trial, some accusers who spoke out for the documentary, and 50 Cent got his hands on some footage that Diddy claims belongs to him.
We have to find somebody that'll work with us that has dealt in the dirtiest of dirty business. We're losing.
I reached out to Sean Combs' spokesperson, who tells me that the reason why that personal footage exists is because Sean Combs has been documenting his own life since he was 19 years old. They say that this footage was captured from a personal videographer hired by Sean Combs.
If Sean Combs watches this, what do you think he's going to feel?
Like, wow, this is amazing. I think he's going to say this is the best documentary I've seen in a long time. Because you'll see people saying that. I mean, he may feel a different way about pieces and bits of it, but he knows the truth.
His lawyers even sent a cease and desist letter to Netflix, which I have obtained. I reached out to Netflix and they referred me to a statement from the documentary's director who says, quote, "It came to us, we obtained the footage legally and have the necessary rights."
Well, you say you're woke, but the companies you work for, I mean, unbelievable. Apple, Amazon, Disney. If ISIS started a streaming service, you'd call your agent, wouldn't you? So, if you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. So, if you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God, and fuck off, okay? 3 hours long.
Justin Timberlake, he's been in the news. I did a tweet, I don't know if you know, it sort of went viral and it even made the newspapers, that when he was arrested for drunk driving, I sent him a tweet saying, as a joke, this didn't happen. It happened that I sent him this tweet, but I didn't really send him any Dutch Barn vodka. I just went, did you get that bottle of Dutch Barn vodka I sent you? That's the joke. And it went mad. I did think of a joke. I wouldn't tweet it. It's a bit harsh. I could do this to the Golden Globes. Right, this is it. It's a stupid joke. It's a pun. The joke was, if Justin Timberlake goes to prison, he's going to hear the words sexy back a lot more often. Oh, there you go.
There's a lot of new information. No one had ever really put it together like that before.
For 50 Cent, he says he feels a sense of obligation.
Well, you know, if I didn't say anything, you could assume that all of hip-hop culture is comfortable with his actions.
You're also going to hear from Aubrey O'Day. She was in the girl band Danity Kane as part of making the band. She has an explosive allegation against Combs. And then there's quite a bit that focuses on the murders of Biggie and Tupac, and people from Combs's inner circle raising a lot of questions. People are going to also have a lot to say about that.
Bob Seger, classic. So, how are you? Where are you watching from? Dublin. You want to know the score? You're already telling me. Michigan. Hello. How are you? I'm good. Thanks for asking. Having a good Sunday? I am having a good Sunday. I'm knackered. I did 2 gigs this week in a row. That wipes me out. Well, it's two. Obviously, the main thing is my age, but also through the pandemic, I started getting up earlier. I went from an average of 9:30 for my whole life to 7:30, and I can't not get up now at 7:30. So after I do a gig, I've come home, I've tried to relax, I've had a few drinks, probably later than usual. I don't drink anymore, but I drink it later, if you know what I mean. And I wake up at 7:30 and I'm exhausted and I've got to do a gig that night. And because I played the Wickham Swan, I stayed at our place nearby and I played tennis both days. So 2 gigs, 2 games of tennis. I couldn't walk yesterday. But I refuse not to do it just because it hurts. I want to do it forever until I'm playing tennis in pain. Which probably isn't the right thing to do, but what's the point? What's the point in just not being in pain but not playing tennis? I'll take that's like life, isn't it? It's like a metaphor for life, that you got to take the pain for the pleasure. So yeah, thanks for asking. Someone said, how was your Sunday? Right, questions, too many. Thank you, but too many. We won't get to them all, but been warm, isn't it? Got a little hoodie on, which might be a mistake. I didn't want to show off my massive arms because I've been working out, in case the government think that I'm sort of like some sort of illegal experiment. They go, look at those arms, they're not natural. He's been taking gorilla genes. Look, it's on its last legs again, it's gone again. It's been mended twice. I don't know if it can go through it again. Oh, my arms ache, I did a workout today. Keena, who's your favourite philosopher and why? Oh my God. Well, there's so many amazing ones. I studied philosophy. I got a degree in philosophy, amazingly. And it's not that I've forgotten it all. I think I've remembered it all, if you know what I mean. I remember all the principles, but I can't remember who said what. So it's just I know a blob of philosophy, but I don't know. Doesn't matter, does it really? It doesn't matter who said what. But I think my favourite was probably Bertrand Russell, because he sort of crossed over to modern times and applied his philosophy to things that meant something to me, not just principles of ethics and things like that, but specific things in our society, if that makes sense. Trend Bren comedy. Facing my brain surgery, I was told to go to my happy place just before I was put under. What is your happy place? If you're asked. Mine is at home with the family. Yeah, that's the first thing that springs to mind. Sort of from 6 o'clock onwards, when I'm not doing this, sitting on the couch, glass of wine, eat, Netflix series, whatever we're watching at the time. The great thing about not just Netflix, but all sort of on-demand stuff is you can try out a new thing or an old thing, and if it's not good, you stop it. You don't waste your time. And then, within a few goes, you find an amazing series for a couple of weeks. So that's definitely, and tennis. Whatever day I've had, whatever stress or work if I'm playing tennis, I forget it all for an hour. It's get that ball back over the net. So yeah, the cat sitting on me again. She's just started doing that, Pickle. So yeah, that's good, isn't it? Sitting, laying down, watching Netflix. I've got a good recommendation, actually, another great series. Remind me. You can't remind me. Der Pass. It's a German. We've got the last one tonight of series 2. And I know I'm going to be bereft. It's so good. It's so good. Oh, German serial killer, cop, complicated sort of morality tale. Acting, directing, the style is amazing. Beautiful. There you go. Astro Pictures. What is the most difficult aspect of writing a series that had to deal with such a heavy topic like afterlife? Well, it was how can I make this funny? Because it was a comedy, but the subject matter and the pacing was obviously dramatic. So that was the challenge. I remember writing it, can people laugh when they know this man has lost everything and his wife died of cancer and he's suicidal? And the answer is yes, if you do it right. But dealing with what happened to him as well was tricky. There was lots of ways to go. And I did feel a bit of a responsibility to not let him end it. So yeah, I won't give the spoilers in case I'm sure you've watched it. But yeah, I won't say anything. Gunnar and Andy. Although this is from Andy because it's a photo of Andy. And Andy says, I'm going to have a nap. Can you tell me a story to help me fall asleep? Did I mention I've got a degree in philosophy? From like a top university in the world for philosophy. But I'm now going to tell a story to a dog who's having a nap. It's got to be a short one, Andy. I'll tell you my favourite fable. That's short. I've tried to find this since. I heard it somewhere or read it somewhere, and it's great. It's so poignant. It's like a metaphor for life, and it's got animals in it, Andy. And it's so a lion, a big old lion, is dying. He's old, and he's sort of collapsed in the jungle. And it's the last moments of his life. And all the animals that were scared of him throughout his life as he reigned as king of the jungle, they gathered round. All the deer and the squirrels and the badgers and the raccoons. They all came round, they were laughing. They were going, ha, not so tough now, are you? And they were running up and touching him around the way, and they were all giggling and laughing. And with his last breath, he just went, but at least I was a lion once. I just think that is the most beautiful story ever. I think it's amazing. So yeah, Andy's asleep now. No Meat Pete. My eyes are stinging again, aren't they? Because I've just had a bubble bath. I never learn. I'm trying to read that. I wonder how bad my eyes are now. Because when I tested them last time, about 5 years ago, I couldn't read the bottom line of the eye chart, right? And I struggled with the second bottom one. So I don't know what it is now. But in everyday life, I think I've got perfect eyesight. I haven't, but nothing bothers me, do you know what I mean? But after a bubble bath and I'm tired. What is this? It's like a therapy session for me, isn't it? Just whining about all my ailments. It's funny, now people say, how are you? I used to go, I'm fine. But now I tell them. Oh, I'm sweating as well because I had a hot bath and I put a woolly on. Right. No Meat Pete. If you were invited on a trip to the moon, would you go? No. Why? No. It's too far. It's too dangerous. You know what I mean? You're helpless. You know, what would I do if something went wrong? There's nothing to see, is there? I went to the moon. Did you? Right. So? No. I'm not putting down the people that have... It's amazing. It's amazing that we can get that. It's an incredible human. Don't get me wrong. It's not for me, though. I talk about this in Armageddon about space travel, which is going well. Thanks for asking. Last few warm-ups, and then the first real one, I think, is in November. Yeah, but it's really getting there. It's my favourite one so far. Claire, what's your favourite season and why? I like now. I mean, listen, there's great bits in all of them, and I like the change. I like seasons full stop. I like a depressing winter can get too much, can't it? A long, cold, rainy January and February, and I go, oh, why can't we sort this weather out? You can't win there, and you go, oh, summer's too hot, isn't it? But I really like this late 65 degrees, sunny 65 degrees, leaves falling. This is just about perfect for me. So late summer, early autumn, I'd say. Rachel, I would like to know what's the worst food you got served as a kid. Mine was Finder's crispy pancakes. It's a good plug there, isn't it? I'm not going to get sponsored by them then, am I? I thought Mum had given me cardboard parcels. What's the worst food? Oh, sorry, I'm too hot. Well, my mum used to sort of do it to order, really. There was never a time when there wasn't like cheese in the fridge, baked goods in the pantry. There was always cakes that she made. She was made them on a Sunday. It was everything on a Sunday, and the bath would be like full of cold water, and she'd have trifles set in and put in blancmange, and then just cakes. She'd do it all, and they'd last us the week. So there was always cakes, always cheese in the big blocks of cheese. It was chips every day. She always had a fryer going. So I had like kids' food whenever I wanted. I think she gave up at saying, eat one Brussels. So yeah, I don't think I ever, if I didn't like something, I wouldn't eat it. She tried everything. What's the worst thing? What's the worst thing she'd make me eat? Well, in my head now, it'd be meat, the thought of that, but, you know, not at the time. But yeah, I remember I was always a bit squeamish about me. Yeah, it would be that. Anything like, when I ate meat, anything like, if I saw a vein or a bit of fat or something, like, oh, fucking hell. And she used to prepare things from scratch as well. So I saw her throwing away the chicken giblets. It sounds like I was brought up in the war, doesn't it? Right. Doris, would you consider a serious acting role? I think it would make a fabulous serial killer. Fucking to pass. I would, but I don't take any role. I always think I'm not in charge here. I'm not in charge. I'll do a cameo. I think that's what I should put out to casting directors and directors. If you're working in England, right, near London, right, or a place near a 5-star hotel, I'll do a couple of days on it. But I can't do things. Most of them I don't want to do. Half of them I don't want to do. Half of them I don't want to travel. Half of them they're too long. Half of them I'm doing something. So it just narrows down the chances of me doing something that isn't my own, even my own thing. Like Netflix have bought my next series. I've got it down to 2 things. But I'm loving stand-up so much because I do it when I want. So I unless someone calls me up and says, listen, we're shooting down the road. It's 1 day's filming. And you have to come in, be a serial killer, chop up a fake body, you'll be owned by 4. Yeah, I'll do it. $1 million. Otherwise, I'm on the couch. Leslie, in your opinion, your work so far, including Armageddon, I know it's hard to choose, which moments have been 1, your proudest, 2, your most emotional, 3, funniest, 4, gave you the best buzz? Proudest moment. I think doing Derek, because even before people had seen it, they were already saying you shouldn't be doing this. This is crazy. This is a terrible idea. So I'm proud of that. I'm proud of not taking their advice. That could be bad. If someone says to me, "Oh, you can't do that," I take that as a challenge. That doesn't break my spirit or worry about it. Oh, I think that's good advice. I just think, well, hold my pint. So, could be terrible. That could be terrible advice. But that's just, that's what I think. That excites me. If someone says, you can't do that, I go, oh, brilliant. Let's have a go. So Derek, I think, most emotional, the dog scene in Derek, and a couple of times in Afterlife. I think a couple of things on the bench with Penelope Wilton, and with my wife on the computer. There's one bit of I think the end of 2. I think is pretty. That was emotional. I think dog in Derek would be number 1. Then about 3 or 4 scenes in Afterlife. Funniest. Derek in the caravan. I mean, lots of things with David Earl are impossible, but I thought I was going to burst a lung with that scene that was cut with Derek and Kev showing Derek round caravan, talking about getting Janice in. If she were to reverse it, I wouldn't stand a bloody chance. I just impossible. And that outtake with Ratty and the Nonce. Even though I knew what was coming half the time, it's just so ridiculous. It's when you become aware of how ridiculous it is, how ridiculous this is to be filming this, and that you're getting paid for it. And it's going to go on the telly. I think of all the people watching it going, why is this funny? That really, really makes me laugh. So, just saying to her, obviously I do it for the people who like it, but I also do it for the people who go, I don't know, how did this get on telly? That really, really excites me. Gave you the best buzz. Lots of things really. When you nail a scene. The Golden Globes. probably the last Golden Globes. And I can't remember if that was at the time. I was excited to do it. I sort of I knew it was, if I did it well, I knew it was good, if you know what I mean. And then after, I think doing that the last time I did it, that monologue in front of all those people, it might be that. Bella, thirsty, stingy eyes, hot, tired. Just whining, just whinging, isn't it? Bella, one time I found a really good stick, but I chewed it too hard and it broke in half, which was disappointing until I realised that I had 2 really good sticks. That's great. What a great philosophy, Bella. I often think of Bella when I find a good stick. I always walk with a stick now, just in case I meet a dog who likes it. There's one dog in particular called Atom, who, when he comes around the corner, he sees the stick, he runs over for the stick. That makes my day. He's happy. He runs a little bit faster when he sees I've got a stick. That makes my day, which is weird, isn't it? What's the best buy one, get one free offer you've ever taken advantage of? I used to do loads. When we had no money, sometimes they were like, it was Safeway. At the end of the day, they'd sometimes do half price or 2 for 1. Also, the Sunday before a bank holiday, when they weren't open, they didn't used to be open, we used to get there and just try and get as much stuff as we could. 2 big pies for £3 or something. We were in a bar once, LA, and it was happy hour, and we were eating. It was 2 for 1. So we thought, brilliant, half price. So we went in, and they went, no, you've got to have 2 each. I went, why can't I just order 2 for me? And she went, no. So me and Jane had to eat 4 massive meals. So there's no advantage there. That's no advantage there, because I didn't want that. I was thinking, is there a homeless person I can give one to? So we just sort of wasted it. That's mad. 2 for 1. But you don't want the other one. And you've got to eat it now. It's not like there's no advantage in it. You can't take it home, a plate of fucking burger and chips. So yeah, those when supermarkets used to mark stuff down. Good question, Bella. Philly Ann, I know you're a good artist, and she's posted a picture of a painting of mine, which is pretty good, but that's rare. I'm not a good artist, it's rare. It's luck. It annoys me that I can't do what I want, but then sometimes I find it and I go, oh, that's, God, don't touch a thing. What's your favourite thing to draw or paint? I sort of like nearly abstract scapes. I like skies and ground. Does that make sense? I wish I could paint properly. You get better, but I still feel it's a bit of luck. Not with real artists, but with me. Even if it comes out good, I go, oh, that's great. But it seemed like I paint like a cat. Rob, when the money started rolling in, did you ever buy yourself a go-kart to replace the one your dad swapped for a wheelbarrow? Do you know what? I'd rather have a wheelbarrow now. He was right, in a way, wasn't he? Definitely rather have a wheelbarrow now. Do you ever do that? Like you go to a hardware store. I have this thought. I go, I wish I needed some of this. What sort of ambition is that? I wish I needed some of this stuff. I want a sort of an apocalypse bunker with all stuff like that. You know, just drawers of like batteries and gaffer tape, glue, wires. No, I'm holding out for there's a drone bike. It's not on the market yet, but it's like a motorbike and it goes up and it's got the drone, sort of they're built in as well. So it's not like 3 or 4 propellers. I showed Jane things like that, like there's just jetpack, the bloke going around like that. I go, look at that. Jane goes, dead. That's what she just goes, dead. She's got a point. Right. Brenda and Ziggy. You love New York and have a house there, but is there another place in the world that you think, yay, that'll be the perfect place for me, Jane and Pickle? Amsterdam. We've even looked at some of the boats. That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Amsterdam, Copenhagen. Yeah. I think Europe. I think probably Europe. Yeah, one of those. New York, Amsterdam. London, New York, Amsterdam. Welsh Felix just wants me to wish Cherry and Leopold happy birthday for tomorrow. Happy birthday, Cherry and Leopold. Bev, are you going to do a new series, Loved Afterlife? Well, yeah, but not yet. Once I'm touring, then I can start thinking about the next. Once Armageddon is absolutely flying, I don't have to think about it again, if you know what I mean. It's sort of like you just do it. Like you're in a play that night and you've got your days free. So I will. Yeah, I will. Sarah, are there any places, countries that you haven't toured that you really want to? Well, I'd like to see everywhere. I'd like to see the whole world. It's just like packing a bag, getting a ticket. Yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to tour Australia, but they're so far away, aren't they? It's such a long way away. I'll give myself 2 hours travel. That's that's as long as I ever. Branson was working on a thing that shot you up in the air into space and down to Sydney in 2 hours. I was going to let someone else try it first, Mariah Carey, right? And then if it was safe, I was going to do it. Right. What a load of shit that was. Thanks for following. Is that picture blurred or is my eyesight going? Oh God. Yeah, be nice to animals. Vote for Afterlife at the National TV Awards. What else? Yeah, I'll look out for tickets. I might come to your town one day on my drone bike. Tatty bye, everyone. Tatty bye.
£8 billion sterling has been given by Keir Starmer to Zelensky since Starmer became Prime Minister not even a year ago. It's us and the French. Except it's not even us and the French. Those of you who know anything about French military prowess since the Napoleonic era know that the French army, well, to put it kindly, cannot be relied upon.
I say I can't complain because I always know there's people in much worse positions. I just couldn't bring myself to whine about it because it's obviously, even though it's been handled badly in some cases, it's you got to do it. You got to save lives.
So it looks like it's only us, except there's only 74,000 of us. That's the entire strength of the British Army, of which only half are frontline soldiers. The rest are hairdressers and auxiliaries and ambulance personnel and firefighters and clerks and typists. So we're down to a very small number of forces indeed, which is why I raised the hue and cry in the last few days over the imminence of conscription being returned to the United Kingdom. It could not be otherwise, because Starmer said he was going to send 30,000 British soldiers to act as so-called peacekeepers in the western part, presumably, of Ukraine, except that would leave us with fewer than 15,000 soldiers left in the entire country, in the entire world. They'd have to take the guards of Buckingham Palace and the Palace of Westminster in order to make a deployment of that size. And so it is axiomatic that any madcap foreign adventure expeditionary force like Starmer announced at the weekend he was going to form would require your sons and daughters to be conscripted to perchance die for Keir Starmer in a charge of the Light Brigade.
I saw a great thing. I don't know if it's a famous quote or not, but it was something like, "We're not all in the same boat, we're in the same storm. Some people are in yachts, some people are in rowboats, and some people are drowning." And I think that sums it up. That, you know, I just feel there's people who really had it tough. So I won't whinge.
Long after everyone doing the pledging is dead, even after their children are long dead, we're going to be giving the Ukrainian state £4 billion a year. But the cost of taking away the cold weather payments for our mothers and fathers, grandfathers and grandmothers in a bitter British winter was half of $4 billion, $2 billion. So we made a conscious decision to freeze our old age pensioners, to give it to Zelensky to set fire to as many others as he possibly could. And if you think that the British public will put up with that in perpetuity, you have a lower opinion of the British public than I do. I predict the 100-year treaty will not survive the end of this Parliament. And in any case, no Parliament can bind its successor, and the successor Parliament ought to trash the whole thing, put it in the dustbin of history. Anybody who thinks in terms of 100 years or 1,000 years, anyone who thinks in terms of building a new Reich or a new empire in Europe, fading, failing, flailing Europe, is really lost the place. They are one flew over the cuckoo's nest. But it is remarkable, the kind of things that are happening.
Again, I don't whinge today because, you know, I know how hard it was then. I didn't even whinge then, really, because I was sort of protected. I didn't know I was poor till I was about 14 or 15. So I think that's what certainly taught me that money isn't the most important thing. As I said, growing up, all the best things were, I didn't have any money, but all the best things were free. Friends, comedy, nature, learning, all those things are free. That's amazing, isn't it? That's amazing. All those things are free. I never wanted fucking cars and jewellery. I just, you know. So stay safe. Don't listen to idiots. Do what you want. Do what you know is right. And be nice to animals. Tatty bye, everyone. Tatty bye.